Have you ever looked in the mirror and noticed a small, yellowish bump near your eyelid or the corner of your eye? Most people brush it off. It does not hurt. It does not itch. It just sits there, soft and pale yellow, quietly attached to the skin. So you leave it alone, assuming it is some kind of harmless skin tag or pimple. That will go away on its own. But today, I want to show you why that small, painless bump may be one of the most important things your body has ever tried to tell you, especially if you are over 40. What we are talking about is a condition called xanthelasma palpebrarum. It is a yellowish plaque that forms just beneath the skin of the eyelids. When cholesterol and other fatty deposits accumulate in the tissue, the most common location is the inner corner of the upper eyelid, right near the nose, but it can also appear on the lower eyelid, or spread symmetrically to both eyes over time. So what causes it? The short answer is fat. When LDL cholesterol, what most people call bad cholesterol, circulates in the bloodstream at elevated levels, it does not just build up inside artery walls. It can also accumulate beneath thin skin, especially around the eyes, where the skin is particularly delicate and rich in small blood vessels, cells called foam cells, which are essentially immune cells that have engulfed excess fat, cluster beneath the eyelid skin and form these yellowish plaques. Now here is something that surprises many people. According to research, approximately half of all patients with xanthelasma have completely normal cholesterol levels. That is right, about 50% of people who develop this condition do not have elevated blood lipids at all. In those cases, other factors may be at play, including genetic predisposition, thyroid dysfunction, diabetes, or local changes in how the skin metabolizes fat. This is exactly why seeing a doctor is so important. You cannot tell from the outside whether your cholesterol is high or not. A blood test is the only way to know. So why does this matter beyond just removing the yellow bump? This is where the conversation gets more serious. A large-scale study tracking tens of thousands of participants over many years found that individuals with xanthelasma had a statistically significant higher risk of myocardial infarction and ischemic heart disease compared to those without it, even after adjusting for other known risk factors, including LDL cholesterol levels. The data suggested roughly a 48% higher risk of heart attack and approximately a 40% higher risk of ischemic heart disease in those with xanthelasma. It is worth noting that not every study has reached the same conclusion. A 2024 study found no statistically significant association between xanthelasma and cardiovascular disease. The medical community is still actively researching this relationship. What remains consistent, however, is the clinical recommendation. When you see xanthelasma, treat it as a prompt to check your cardiovascular health, not just your skin. Here is another issue that catches people off guard. Simply removing the visible bump does not solve the underlying problem. Research shows that after initial removal, recurrence rates can be around 40%. And in cases where both upper and lower eyelids are affected, that rate can climb as high as 80%. As long as elevated blood lipids remain unaddressed, the fat keeps returning to the eyelid tissue. The yellow bump is the symptom. The lipid imbalance is the cause. If a blood test confirms high LDL cholesterol alongside xanthelasma, your doctor may discuss whether statin therapy is appropriate for you. Statins are cholesterol-lowering medications, and some evidence suggests they can help reduce recurrence of xanthelasma. In patients with confirmed dyslipidemia, please do not stop or adjust any medications on your own. Always work with your physician. Alongside any medical treatment, lifestyle changes can meaningfully support cholesterol management. On the dietary side, reducing saturated fats found in fatty meats, butter, cheese, and processed snacks is a good starting point. Replacing those with unsaturated fats like olive oil, avocado, and nuts has been shown to support healthier LDL levels. Omega-3 rich foods like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are also worth incorporating several times per week. Soluble fiber from oatmeal, barley, and legumes acts somewhat like a sponge in the digestive tract, helping reduce how much cholesterol gets absorbed into the bloodstream, and aiming for at least 25 grams of soy protein daily has been associated with improvements in cholesterol Profiles in some research. For a practical starting point, here is a simple 7-day approach. On days 1 and 2, take note of how much saturated fat is in your current daily meals. Packaged foods, fast food, and heavy dairy are often the biggest contributors. On day 3, try swapping your breakfast to oatmeal with a handful of walnuts. On day 4, include a fatty fish like salmon or mackerel for lunch or dinner. On day 5, start a 10-minute walk after one of your meals. On day 6, replace your usual snack with a small handful of almonds. And on day 7, call your doctor and schedule a lipid panel blood test. That one action, the appointment, may be the most important step of all. A few important cautions before we wrap up. If you have xanthelasma along with other risk factors, such as a family history of heart disease, high blood pressure, smoking, or obesity, please do not wait. Schedule that appointment promptly. These risk factors compound one another, and early awareness gives you real options. Also remember, high cholesterol has no symptoms on its own. It does not hurt. It does not announce itself. That is what makes it quietly dangerous. A small yellow bump near your eye, easy to ignore, might just be the only visible hint your body ever gives you that something needs attention. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Share it with someone you care about who might have noticed something similar. Your health is absolutely worth protecting, and it is never too late to start paying attention. See you in the next video.